Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great day. Today we are going to be talking about makeup I'm not buying. I'm not buying it, I don't want it, I'm not interested in it, I'm not having it, alright? I'm not having it, and I'm going to be talking you through the reasons why. They're varied reasons. Some are to do with price, some are to do with them looking rubbish. Some of them are just ugly, some of them I don't need it, I've got hundreds of them already. So without further ado, let's talk about why I'm not buying this stuff. So the first thing is the Cover FX Face Palette. So this launched as a Cult Beauty exclusive, and I think it's also available in the US. The whole reason why I didn't even give this 5 seconds of thought when I saw that, and I'm all about face palettes. I love a face palette. I have them coming out my ears. I'm a sucker for a face palette. I find them really convenient and just quick and easy and everything. And it looks like the shades in there are pretty good. I like it's got a face powder as well as, you know, pretty much everything you need in one. I find the packaging offensively bad. Like, I'm offended I had to look at that packaging. I just think it's so ugly. And I remember my friend Mel recently reviewed the blush duos or the bronzer duos that they've got, and she said that they reminded her of like bars of soap, and I was just like, what is happening in their packaging department right now? The whole reason I'm not buying that is the packaging. I think the layout, the shape and size of the pans is just not right. It's just not calling to me that I need it. It's not selling the product, but the outer packaging, it looks like it's from Claire's Accessories or something. It looks like supermarket makeup to me, and it's not cheap. It's cheaper than like the Charlotte Tilbury face palette, but it isn't cheap, and it just doesn't look like something I want to hold in my hand. It's not screaming, buy me, look how beautiful I am. It's like, meh. Next up, the Beautyblender Shine Lighter. I haven't seen anyone use this yet. I'm not actually sure if it's out yet, but you would expect it to have gone out in PR or something. I have seen no one use it. So this is supposed to be like a clear, dewy, glowy highlighter type product. But when I saw it on Trend Mood, everyone was basically commenting, so it's Vaseline then. And that is apparently what it is. It's basically an expensive Vaseline for the face. The thought of that doesn't excite me. I'm not a huge fan of cream and liquid highlights anyway. I generally tend to reach for my powders more, but I am open to a cream these days, a bit more than a liquid. It looks like it's going to be really, really sticky. It looks like it'll pick stuff up, but it's just, again, the packaging looks, the product itself looks meh. It's just, it didn't grab me, to be honest. Next up, this Lancome eyeshadow palette. This actually looks really, really pretty, and the packaging looks glorious. And this is the difference for me. I think brands should not underestimate packaging, because this really spoke to me and I really wanted to buy it. But then when I tried to focus on the palette itself like this is what I do if I'm trying to not buy something because of packaging. I look at it like this, block out the packaging, and just look at the eyeshadow palette. Does it still look as good? And then you decide. Don't let the packaging mug you off. If it's just rubbish but it's in a glorious package, use the binocular eyes. You can borrow that anytime you like. So that's what I did with this eyeshadow palette. And then to me, I was like, all of these shades are already in my Huda New Nudes palette. By the way, I haven't cut my hair. I just put my jumper on and it stayed in, and I couldn't be bothered to bring it out. So don't panic. It's keeping my neck warm. It's all in here. But yeah, I feel like all those shades are in my Huda New Nudes palette, and I don't encourage or like or suggest buying something you won't use or you don't need or you already have just because of packaging. Although I do love some packaging. I'm also not 100% confident, or even 50% confident, in Lancome's eyeshadow formula because I've never tried it before. Yeah, so that is something to be aware of. I would definitely wait for reviews before you pick that one up. Next up, the Linda Hallberg eyeshadow palette. No offence to Linda, because she is incredible and I love her, and I definitely know that this is going to be a great eyeshadow palette, I'm sure of it. But those colours are my worst nightmare. You guys know that I'm not a like bright, crazy colour eyeshadow kind of person. And that is all of my fears and insecurities and demons in a palette. So that is a straight up no for me. The Huda Beauty Body Glow, or the Nymph product as she's calling it, the something about pantyhose, not your mother's pantyhose. I don't even know what that means. But again, it's a body glow, looks very glittery. I know she's been using it on her face in some of the sort of launch stuff, but I can't see myself doing that. I'm not big about body glow. I literally might do it once a year if I remember on my birthday, or if I'm on holiday, maybe I'll do it. But again, I'd rather it wasn't something very glittery. I'd rather it was more like a glow, a bit of like MAC Strobe cream, something like that. Rather than sort of something that looks quite sticky and transfery and glittery, like the Fenty Body Lava as well. That's kind of not my thing. This looks like that to me, and it's just a very easy pass. I just won't use it. So yeah, it's a no. Melt's Smoke Sessions palette, much like Linda Hallberg, you know, green, as far as I'm concerned, is only for jumpers. I will never make that look good on my eyeshadow, on my eyes. It was just, I can't do it. I haven't got the skill, the talent, the creativity. I don't have it. And even if I did, it's just not my colours. You know, I am a neutrals, pinks, browns, maybe an orange in there, maybe some gold, some bronzes, greens. I don't know what, no thank you. The Natasha Danone Mini Bronze and Glow, that's definitely going to be a no for me. I have been waiting for her new blush palette that has just been announced on Instagram, which is the bronze palette. So it is the same layout and format as her bloom palette, which for some reason it's been on my list to buy, but I've just never pulled the trigger on it because it is just so far removed from my normal preference as far as shades and colours. And then I saw the tan one and was like, that's why I didn't buy Bloom, because that one is much more up my street. I'd much rather have something like that where I've got a big nice sized pan to stick a bronzer brush into, plus some other products in there, glowy products I can use together in the summer. I'd much rather that than the very, very tiny brown blush and the highlight, which looked like it might be too deep for my skin tone. But yeah, again, it's so small. Have you seen, it's like this big. So yeah, that was an easy pass for me. It's too small. I wouldn't even be able to, if I wanted to use the highlight just on, you know, as an eyeshadow, I don't even think my finger would fit in there. I've got really big hands. Next up, the Huda Matte and Cream Lip Sets. So this is those big lip sets, and they have a matte lipstick in there, mini, a lip liner, and then one of her cream, I think they're called like demi matte lipsticks, which is like a cream lipstick formula, liquid formula that doesn't dry down matte. So she's got these like trios, 2 lips, 1 matte, 1 shiny, and a lip liner in these kits. I think they're a great idea. I would certainly be on board with picking one up, but I have at least one of the lip shades in each of the sets, so there's not one that screams to me that is like, you haven't got these shades, you need these, that I don't already have. So that was like an easy pass for me. The lips would go straight in the bin. Not my lips, you know, the packaging lips would go straight in the bin, so that's a bit of a waste. I feel like you're paying for those huge ginormous lips, and if I was going to do that, I'd be at the doctor's. The Moschino by Sephora Collection. Someone had to be drunk when this happened. I mean, I can't actually buy this because it's obviously as a British citizen, I'm not allowed on the Sephora website, let alone to purchase something from Sephora. But even if I did, this would be the last thing I would, like if Sephora said, Charlotte, we know you want to get on our website for this one day only, you can come on our website, but you can only buy from this collection, I wouldn't do it. I just don't know what to tell you. I feel like number one is my children would steal it and use it as crayons straight away because they'd assume that's what it was. It's childish, it looks naff, it looks cheap. I can't imagine in a billion years any of it's going to be actually good quality based off of how little kind of sense seems to have been put into the packaging. So that whole collection is in the bin for me, even though it was never going to be an option for me to buy it in the first place. And last but not least, the James Charles by Morphe brush set. So this is quite old for a lot of you, but here in the UK it has just come up on Cult Beauty. So if you have been waiting to get the James Charles brush set by Morphe, it has just come into stock on Cult Beauty. It is £152. I mean, I don't need any brushes, so it was never really on my radar to buy. And I do know that there is a lot of brushes in there. Like, how many is there? 34 brushes that are for eyes, face and a sponge. So, you know, you're set for life. I would never spend £152 on makeup brushes. I'm kind of a bargain hunter when it comes to brushes. I want decent quality at a mid-range price point. I have very few expensive brushes in my collection, and the ones I do have were gifts that I put on my Christmas list or things like that, or that I got in the sale. £152, I know it's, you know, it will probably work out as 5p per brush or whatever, but it's still £152 for Morphe brushes. If I had £152 I wanted to spend on makeup brushes, would I be spending them on Morphe brushes? I wouldn't have thought so. I don't have anything against Morphe brushes. I know some people hate Morphe. They think it's like the devil. When they see a Morphe brush, they're like, I don't feel that way about Morphe. I've got some Morphe brushes. I use them regularly. I enjoy them. Some of them I think are pretty good. I do think they're cheap because they cost like £3, some of these brushes. So, you know, the quality is not that of a brush that is 10 times the price. Of course it's not. You do kind of get what you pay for. Are there better brushes out there than Morphe? Absolutely. Are there brushes in a kind of the same price point as Morphe that are probably better? Probably. Morphe does seem to be getting more expensive these days. So that really, really, really affordable price point it used to have going for it is kind of coming up a notch now. I prefer Sigma brushes, I prefer Zoeva brushes, I prefer Delium tools, but Morphe brushes are very cheap and cheerful and they do the job a lot of the time, I have found personally. But I am never in my life going to be spending £152 on anything from Morphe. I mean, it could be 300 brushes and I would still rather spend that money on, you know, 10 Wayne Goss brushes, or I mean, no, it'd probably be like 4 or 5. But do you see what I mean? If I was going to put that investment into brushes, it would be Wayne Goss brushes or Smith brushes, you know, brushes that are going to last a lifetime and be insane quality. And I just think it's madness, £152 for brushes just because, you know, it's got an artist's name on it, and I just like, my mind is blown. So that is a never in my whole life. So there you have it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you are not interested in the comments down below and why. I would love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.